Alright, so this is where I stand after 1 week of screen printing. This whole process has been a learning experience for me. Just like when I started doing videography, just like whenever you start anything, when there's already a process for it, you have to learn how to do it. There's a process for everything. Okay, let's get that straight. Now, the only thing about that, yes, there's a process, there are techniques, there are all this stuff to make sure you get the right print. So that's the stage where I'm at right now. I have all the materials. Essentially, I had all the materials, or I thought I had all the materials. I had the materials for screen printing, I just didn't have the right setup. So in that case, that's the one struggle I've had this whole entire week. So my first week of screen printing, step one, or the first issue I encountered, which is the start of the screen printing process. And that is, well, you got to wash the screen, make sure everything's clean, no grease, no oil, whatever, right? But get your screens prepped is the first. That's like easy, no problem with that. But the second step was putting emulsion onto the screen. My first issue with that was I had a scoop coater that was just way too big for the screen, so it wasn't evenly coating my screen. And it was putting way too much. Again, that could just be the way that I did it. I'm still learning how to do that. That was my first time putting my three attempts. They did all fail. Then I figured I just get the right size scoop coater for my screen. So I did that, and after my second attempt, because I'm still learning how to maneuver the emulsion onto the screen, which they make it seem really easy, but for me, apparently, it was just way too difficult. But the second and a half, maybe third attempt, my emulsion screen was set up pretty nicely. The only problem is I didn't have a proper way of putting it in the dark, right? I have lots of light, I have windows during the day. The only time I have is during the thing is, I didn't have the right setup. Everything, my studio is not set up to set up screen printing, so I had to rearrange stuff, just like as you see my table. I just rearranged that. This is my burn station, which I'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, as you can tell, a lot of stuff. Okay, so I really had to prepare myself for that. And so again, after putting the emulsion onto the screen and successfully coating it, I didn't have a way to store it, so I figured I had put it under my bed. I had to use some shoe boxes, had to make sure, because I have carpet, and because from my past experience, the emulsion was dripping, and to some extent it did a little drip on the corners on the outside, which is fine. Wherever I'm going to burn the image is going to be fine, so no issues there. But again, I didn't have, and I still don't have a proper place to store my screens for after they're applied. So I watched the video. The guy just used the blow dryer. So I'm gonna do that, so I just don't have to wait overnight for it to dry. See how that works for me. But again, that was, I guess, my second issue. Scoop coater, storing it, not having the right setup. Third, now the third one was, how do I burn my screen if I don't? I have the halogen light, but I need it to face down. These people have like a wood stand, PVC pipe stand, and that's like more money than, that's, again, it's $20-$30 more. But again, the halogen light, I didn't have the right setup. I didn't have that kind of setup. So as a videographer, I had like some stands, a little pole where I would put my green screen, and I used that because I watched the video and the guy had it hanging from a chain. I'm like, I could do that, and I figured it out. So boom, I didn't have to spend any more money on that. I got it down, we good. So that's my next step. I haven't burned the image yet. I figured out I had to make sure the image burns right So this time I made sure I had to prepare for it. So I got the little, not glass, I didn't get glass, I got like a thick acrylic board, whatever it's called, glass. I don't know if it's glass, it's acrylic, but I got acrylic. So that's gonna be on top of the design, holding it down. Underneath it, I got like this big ass, or big foam board that cost me $8 at Hobby Lobby. Like, this foam board, $8 from Hobby Lobby. Just way overpriced, hard to cut because it was too thick. I didn't have the right knife to cut it. I don't have knives, I don't have cutting tools like that. So in that case, I butchered that foam board, and it's not perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so it's not perfect. So it kind of bothers me, but whatever. I'm not gonna waste my $8. So other than that, they talk about having like some kind of suction to it to make sure the design burns onto the screen just fine. So I made sure I did my own version of that using what I got. So that's good. That setup is good. I might do a separate video on that, just based on what I have. So that's gonna be another video. So that's really where I'm at. I haven't started printing. I'm preparing to burn the image on the screen, so I don't have any problems actually printing the image, right? Because I don't have a proper setup for the wash booth. I don't have a wash booth, so I was using the bathtub, but I'm already getting complaints about that, so I gotta go outside. So I bought a hose, right? I bought a hose from Lowe's, and it turns out it's not a right hose. I'm like, how do you not choose the right water hose? Like, it's a water hose, but I grabbed the wrong one. Anyways, after I burn it, I'm gonna wash it. Boom, boom, boom. Let it dry, and then we get to printing on here. So that's my new setup from there. I kind of did that in advance. I didn't have, yeah. So I'll let you know what's next in the next video.